father and his friends, they would have gatherings in the house. And when they would bring me to play, many of them would say, "We're surprised how a youngster born and brought up in America plays this instrument the way he does and has the feeling for it the way he does." When my father came to America, he also loved the instrument, and he had one or two with him that he played constantly in the house. But there was a point at which he was evidently asked to repair or do repairs, and this was all done in his dry cleaning and tailor shop. A customer would come in, let's say, and ask for their clothes, and he would be in the back room with sawdust having repaired an instrument. And so he would come out looking as though he was a carpenter and hand the lady her suit or her coat or whatever it was that had just been dry cleaned.
I was too young to go to a dance. I would go to a picnic and watch these guys perform. And there were a lot of performers that played at Camp Higherston. That's where we would all, stand right in front of the stage and watch these performers.
I started with the saxophone and very quickly switched to the clarinet. I studied traditional classical clarinet at the Laundry School of Music and later New England Conservatory with a member of the Boston Symphony. But all during the time I was doing that, I was also playing Armenian and Greek and Turkish music.
It was music that was handed down, songs that were played by the early bands in America, such as the Vospigen Band, the Gomidas Band, a lot of the East Coast bands that started. These were from major cities, Philadelphia, New York, Boston. They all had 2 or 3 bands that flourished during the early years.
I played with a band that was called the Heideras. It was a band based on Dexter Avenue in Watertown. Dexter Avenue was the center for the Armenian, quote, ghetto in Watertown. My grandparents came here and lived here 70 years, never learned one word of English, because they didn't have to. Everything they did was in Armenian or Turkish.
It's a tradition that I've seen, that I've been performing for the past, I'm 51 years old. Ever since I was a kid, I've been seeing it and playing it and listening to it. I'm very fortunate because I played with a lot of these guys, and I had a taste of their style and how they perform. It was a lot of fun. My father, they would play let's say a dance. Then someone would have a hookup. They would have a party with musicians just coming in and jamming till 6 o'clock in the morning.
Once you get over the initial nervousness of playing on stage in front of people, and that goes away rather quickly, there's the excitement of playing for an audience, especially one that's enthusiastic and either dancing to your music or listening to your music. And I could have it either way because it's a response and a favorable one, and it makes me, happy to play.
And these guys, no matter if there was a dance, they were going to get people. It was just the 70s and the 80s, that's what it was. When we were doing like 25th wedding anniversaries, 50th wedding, that was common.
We all know what the songs are. I could go to New York, play with musicians I'd never play with, and get through the night because we all know that material. But how we approach the song on stage is extemporaneous. They'll say, take a ride, or it's essentially a taxium in the middle of the song. That's extemporaneous.
Well, this is the Athenian Corner restaurant, which has been here since 1975. Good. Owned by a Greek family, the Panagiotopoulos, and sort of an international place now. Myself, I've been playing here since '79. Wow, 21 and 40, that's 35 years.
Because I love music, I had the Greek music from the beginning, but I used to go to the Bishops, the Arabic club in Lawrence, and they have Armenian and Arabic music, and I meet the guys and I hang over here, and after I stay with them. I have 40 years with the music, the restaurant.
My parents came over to this country from historic Armenia, and my father had a collection of old 78 recordings. All day long I'd just sit there and listen. When I was old enough for them to take me to the local Armenian affairs, the Hanteses, I would go and I'd sit by the bandstand all day. That's all I wanted to do, was listen and learn and watch these guys playing. I was mesmerized.
Have a collection of this many prominent wood players in one place at one time ever again. And we're all great friends. This is a completely non-competitive, we're like brothers here. Come here. This guy's like the best.
Two barbarians.
My kid brother John Barbarian for everybody. When I was maybe 12 years old and starting to play the oud, like virtually everybody else in the world studied John Barbarian albums. Wherever he was playing in New England area, I made my parents drive me to this gig to hear this guy play. And you were my inspiration to now. When I grow up, I'm going to be like you.
I feel a real kinship with all my musician friends. You know, in a way, you're sharing your life with them. I think when you take a stage with someone, there's a natural respect and camaraderie that comes out of that. They won't play something that they're not sure that you know. Because all of us have had musical training and a lot of skill on our instruments, we can pick up songs very quickly.
I was born in the middle of a Mennonite community in Ontario. My friends from there joke about it being like Footloose, like you don't dance there. There's no dancing in Mennonite communities. It wasn't until I moved to New England that I started studying with a teacher who used primarily Turkish music. And that was when the bug just completely bit me. I had been doing belly dance as a hobby and it was fun and I liked taking classes, and when I heard Turkish music, this dance took over my life. Central Asian dance influenced Ottoman court dance, and then that sort of combined with Egyptian dance and Turkish Roman dance, the gypsy dancers, to create this unique, very lively style that was done to Turkish music. And this started in like the 20s and 30s. And this style continued to evolve up to about the mid-90s. There was what some of my mentors call a break in the lineage. The Turks all decided that belly dancing was for tourists, and many of the dancers in Turkey left to go to Arab countries because they couldn't really get jobs in Turkey. And so even the style of dance that they dance in Turkey right now, it's Turkish because they're Turkish people and it's belly dance and they're doing it, but it's very different from the style that I do, which really died out in the 90s. even though I specialize in Turkish style, most of my audiences are Armenian and Greek. And depending on their expectations, I may choose Greek or Armenian music instead because there's a relationship, the rhythms are similar, the maqams are similar. In some cases, the songs actually cross over. It's just a case of what language the lyrics are in.
No one in my family plays an instrument, you know, that's the second generation. But the first generation, they would sing, almost always led by my Uncle Adam. Uncle Adam, they'd be sitting around in a large living room, all the seats around the edge with a big oriental rug, drinking Turkish coffee, and he'd start singing. Always in Turkish, by the way.
These were all the same generation that came to America and did not divorce themselves of the music.
The Turkish music we play were written by Armenians. Is the music that the Armenians brought over. It wasn't that they were forced to learn the music. That's what they knew, and they brought it over. You know, people would say, well, yeah, but it's Turkish music. Yeah, it is, but again, you got to look at where it came from.
It's still a deeply rooted music in my heart, you know. So I feel like I can't just get rid of it. It's there, I play it, and it makes me feel good.
When you think about it, are we valuable in some way? Are we the last link to Ottoman Turkey and the Armenian experience there? When we're gone, who's going to do it? Right now, any one of us can do it.
As long as I'm alive, and as long as like John Barbarian or Onik will still be able to perform, we'll be able to still preserve this music and still present it to, hopefully, another generation.
This community here is extremely unique because there's so many sons of immigrants that came and they all congregated in the Northeast. And so what you have here is just a really unique group of people who were brought up with a specific sort of Anatolian tradition that was mixed with Armenian music that was influenced by the immigrant experience and English music and American music at the time. And there's not many people who have had the opportunity to be a part of it because it's not notated music. It's not taught often. I never took an interest in it until I was maybe 17, and ever since then I've stopped every other instrument. This is just, it feels so right to me. And people ask me, like, you're born in the United States, you were brought up with Western music, you're brought up with Western tradition. How do you all of a sudden in high school just become interested in Armenian music? And I don't have a good answer for that. It's just, it felt right to me, and it continues to feel right to me. And these people here have really given me all they have in terms of teaching me and inspiration. And I hope we can continue doing that for the next generations.
Sonne